everybody. Here we go with my opinion on Always Be My Banshee, Book 4 of the Mystic Bayou series, written by Molly Harper. It was good. Yeah, um, I'm still, I love this series. It was great. I really enjoyed the characters in this one. We had two out of towners for this one. We had Cordelia and, oh, wow, I haven't blanked on the lead's name in a while. Brendan. Uh, and Brendan are two leads. They are both being brought into Mystic Bayou to work with the artifact, the hunk of rock box that is causing the rift. So they get brought in, they meet up at the airport, and they come into town. And it starts with them, trying to figure out what's going on with the artifact, what does it want, and if it's possible to negotiate or figure out what it wants. And yeah, it's them trying to do that. Of course, there's a villain who's of course trying to rip open the veil and take over the world. It was a twist on who it was. It's this one. The villain's not super obvious, like in, I mean, not obvious, but not like actively working like in the previous ones. Like the rift isn't getting ripped open bigger, books aren't being screwed with. It's one of the ones that it's a little more subtle on who it is, and this feels like it was the head person that was behind this whole endeavor. So it's about, them trying to figure out the artifact with Brendan and Cordelia falling in love uh, during the process. It's very sweet. And then shenanigans happen, and at the end, they figure out that the box is sentient, kind of. The box's whole thing is that it wants to take people's pain away, and it wants to be open and be viewed and seen. And so Cordelia is able to negotiate with it, and the league's like, cool, we can put it somewhere where it wants to be, and it stops. Basically, the rift completely goes away, and it's all cool. It's all good. But then the big oh shit moment at the end, because, now everything's wrapped up with a nice little bow in Mystic Bayou, is that the secret is out in this world that a satyr guy, and it's a blowing secret, someone calls him a redneck hick and gets pissed off, and cell phone cameras record the whole thing, and shifters are out in the open now. So that's how it ends. I really liked Cordelia as a character. She's fun because she's a touch psychic, but even beyond that, she can just pick up stuff from being in a room sometimes, depending on the strength of the emotions. So that's her thing. So she's very antisocial and doesn't like being around people because, yeah, she picks up everything, feelings, emotions, all that. It's no bueno for her. And then we have Brandon, who is a Banshee. He's one of the very, very, very few male Banshees. I think he said there's been like two others in their recorded history that they know. So he's a super rare one, and he's also a bit of a loner. He said his family and most Banshees tend to be kind of loners because when you pick up people's deaths, can kind of put a damper on the situation. So I really liked them. They were really cute. Just their relationship was sweet. I liked the two loners finding love. The gang is all back still. We still have Danny and Zed, Jillian and Bale, and we also have Sonia and Will. They're all there. They're all still kicking around, being themselves. It's great. No Bale baby yet. Jillian is still only pregnant. This only takes place like a month after the events of Selkie, so it's not a huge time jump between them. Uh, yeah, it was really enjoyable. Loved it. I did have some questions though about the Banshees. There was some things that kind of made me go, huh? Because they talk about, like, it's kind of a cool thing with the Banshees that it's like the first time they hear a song, or like they sense someone's death. They call it singing, but it's, the Banshee scream. That they die, more or less. Like their heart stops beating. They're dead. They are functionally dead, which is the reason that Brendan is brought in to handle the artifact, because it can't affect dead things. So he's functionally dead. So that's why he's brought in. But my question is that they say they stop aging once they get their first song, And he talks about like how one of his cousins has been stuck as an awkward 15-year-old for the last 20 years, and I was like, oof, that sucks. But for him, he says like the first time he sensed someone's death was when he was like 16. And I don't know if there's a difference between them just like sensing someone's death and getting the full song. So it was one of those things that I was like, he's definitely an adult. Like, he's definitely an adult. He's not some awkward 16-year-old, because that would be weird. So I'm like, that was the one thing that I was kind of like, huh? How? That was one thing. And the other thing they talk about is that banshees, once they die, they're dead. Like, they can't have kids or anything like that, but somehow without a heartbeat, he's still able to get an erection. Don't ask me to explain that one. So he says, like, he can't have kids, but then during the one sex scene, he still puts on a condom, and I'm like, okay, I get it. Maybe you don't want to go, like, couldn't you just tell her I'm infertile, like, because I'm a banshee? I don't know. It was just one of those things that raised a question, because I don't know, she didn't make it felt like some conflicting information on banshee breeding, that it was like, so wait, they can only have kids before they get all bansheed, I think. Yeah, I'm like, I don't know. But it was still an enjoyable book. I still really liked it. Very fun. I am curious if there's going to be another book, because it's the way that book 4 has ended. It's ended in a way that this could be it. This could be the end of the series, and Mystic Bayou is done. Because, I mean, it's the secret's out. There was one character that was introduced in this, Alex. He's a higher up in the league who is an old flame of Cordelia's, but they end up splitting on good terms. But it was him that I was like, oh, I could see a future maybe thing with him, like him and a local girl. That could be pretty cute. But again, with how this one ended, it could be that the series is done, or it could continue. It's one of those things where this is left in a position where, yeah, it could go either way. If it does, awesome. I would really like to see them dealing with the world becoming aware of Magique and the repercussions that's going to have on Mystic Bayou, because they're using Mystic Bayou as like a focal point of living in an integrated society with the Magiques. And I mean, my other question for the world, like for Magiques going public, is what is the population density of Magique? Because she's never really made it clear, like, how much of the world's population are these magical creatures, because that, I think, is a factor in humans getting okay with it, because the Magique in Mystic Bayou, I think there are more Magique than humans in Mystic Bayou. So it's like, outside of that, it's one of those things that's like, well, if there's only like a handful in every city, I don't know. I don't know what the logistics of this world are for that. Again, that goes beyond the scope of just Mystic Bayou. So, yeah, I still enjoyed the hell out of it. Very good. If there ends up being another book in this series, awesome. If not, I'm sad, but it was a good run. I'll probably look up another one of Molly Harper's series to start listening to, just because I've really enjoyed Mystic Bayou, so hopefully I'll enjoy her other series as well. I have started listening to Tall, Dark, and Wicked. Premise sounds interesting enough to start with. I'm not that far in. I hope the mystery turns out well in this one. Fingers crossed. So, yeah. Always be my Banshee, 4 out of 5. Fully recommend the Mystic Bayou series. That is just my opinion. If you disagree, that's totally cool. If there's something you want me to take a crack at, leave your comments down below, and I will see you guys in a little while.